Welcome everybody, YouTube family, to Showmance, the best show doing deep dives on shows with no depth.
Shows as shallow as the audience number we have for these recaps. I think we made $9 on the last one, so maybe that's why. Courtney's not here.
Courtney, as you can see, Courtney's like $9. I'm out of here. I'm going on vacation. She left.
So we are without a moderator, and there's just no way that Mike and I are. That's not happening. So we're just going to talk about the parts of the show that we want to talk about, and if we don't talk about it, it's because we really didn't give a fuck about it. So here we go.
So we don't have 3 things, but we got one thing that's worth 300 things, and that is the return of the great Christina Coca.
Hi. Oh my God.
That's applause. Yay. Welcome back.
Did I charge $13?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll let YouTube know.
Yeah, listen, we're going to crack $15 on this one now that we got you here.
Both of us are freshly blondified.
Yeah,
that's got to count for
haired.
something. It's Leo season.
It is Leo season.
Yeah.
Can I just say, you have no idea how long I've been waiting to like feel like it was finally my day when the producer asked Lizzie Hubbard, so did you think like this was going to be what your life was like when you turned 38? And she just burst into the most adorable
Yes.
cackle I've ever heard in my life. And then after she's finished, she just goes, what? Like, while she's pregnant in a house with her ex-boyfriend, like ex-fiance. What?
It was so genuine. The whole response was so genuine. I forgot about it until you posted it recently.
Yeah.
And I watched it 100 times and I was dying.
Yeah, no, it's the best. How great was Lindsay all season? That laugh all season.
What?
And then I'm laughing in the back as well.
That's so good.
Anyway, happy belated Natalie.
Thank you. Happy belated, but just like freshly, like it was yours yesterday or the day before?
The 13th. So
Yeah.
2 days the day before.
I love that.
Wait, are we talking birthdays or hairs?
Birthday. Oh, and then we both got our hair done in the last couple of days too.
Yeah, I got my hair done yesterday.
Okay.
That's what matters.
So we're just ready. We're just ready.
2 Leos and a Scorpio reporting for business to
Yeah.
discuss.
Wait, what is Courtney?
Aquarius, I think.
See, I'm the most Leo.
Look at me.
I don't know that much about other stuff.
That's very Leo of you.
I know a whole lot about it. And I know about the ones I've dated. Other people, I don't know.
Growing up, Leo, you would read your horoscope and be like, what are these other losers doing? I'm serious. It was a little bit like, doesn't everybody wish that they were reading this horoscope? Because it just was the funnest one. I'm sorry, it was.
Scorpio was the best one.
Well, yeah, if you're like a weirdo and like all emo and stuff.
That's why people read horoscopes, because they're applicable to like any situation. So it's like, I would be like, nah, cynical. I'm like 13. Like, they don't mean me. Like, they're full of it. Like,
I don't even have a job interview this week.
Yeah, like
canceling that job interview.
It's like how psychics get you, know? Which, by the way, as soon as a psychic tells you anything, they've already made themselves wrong. Because if you have information about your future, you're going to behave in a different way, whether you mean to or not.
Do you see psychics?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Courtney goes like twice a year, I think.
I believe that if I had that information, whether I believed it was true or not, it would impact the way I behave. So it would alter whatever they said. Even if what they said comes true, it's not possible for you to like really live it out and see if they're right, because now you know the information towards it or against it or whatever.
Maybe I would just ask them what bad things are going to happen, but don't tell me anything good that's going to happen, because then you could get ahead of the bad things. Like you could maybe try to course correct that. But if it's good, don't tell me, because I don't want to fuck that up. I want to stay on that trajectory.
Anyway, no one asked for this. Thank you for listening.
No one asked for anything that we're doing here.
I asked for it. I'm going through withdrawals. Mike, you need to quit your job. I can't do that again.
Listen, I would love to. Today of all days, on my day off. My day off, air quotes. One day.
You do what's best for you.
No, but we talked about like psychics one time, and there was one person that was not happy about it.
Oh yeah, some people don't like the dark arts.
Yeah, they don't like the dark arts. It was funny.
Maybe they go to Jana and Nia's church. I don't know.
Yeah, possible. Well, should we talk about Beyond the Villa?
I guess there's not a ton to talk about, episode wise, but I feel like there's things, more on a macro level of. But I find that, and I'm sure a lot of people can disagree with me, but what Love Island does best is shows that air the following day in real time, like that real time watch. Like that's what they do best. When we do get to that scene with Ariana and she says she's about to leave for Fiji, it makes you realize like, oh, you guys are back on like normal production schedule time. And that's why this is just not really all that riveting to me.
Well, yeah, and it's also hard to know like what the end game is with Kenny and Janae.
Yeah,
and sit there and be like, ooh, interesting, Kenny. I like that point. I didn't think about that. And not want to be like, you dumb motherfucker. No, Miguel, beat that guy's ass. Like, fucking punch him in the face. Like, dude, what are we doing at
Why
Muay
are you
Thai?
sitting across from him right now?
But even at the Muay, I'm seeing Miguel throw those kicks. I would like to see one of those maybe just land in a rib of Kenny or once or twice, you know?
When I was watching it last night, so I do like live like watch parties or whatever. Don't tell the FBI or whoever. There was a couple like, they should have edited Kenny out after all. Da da da. I'm like, you know what? It's not. Listen, this is no Sandoval. That is never to be duplicated, replicated, whatever. That moment, but it is in the same like a similar vein of like reverse investigation, kind of like seeing the signs and paying attention to things you might have just like let slip or whatever. Not let slip, but like not notice. And that makes for compelling television. Like, I don't know if anybody went in to re-edit. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure of that, but the Kenny of it all, it's interesting to hear the way he talks about it. Like, I wrote down a couple notes of just like how much just I get very specific with language, especially when people are like recapping, telling somebody else about a conversation that they had, if they're misrepresenting it, which is the example that I have right now, or the way people apologize, which is like, if you don't say, I am sorry that the rest of your apology, I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry I upset you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so sorry that you took it that way. No. Yeah. No, you need to take more ownership of your behavior. Anyway, that was like a thing on their season. Funny enough that I like made a whole separate thing about it. I was like, everybody sit down. It's time for school. We need grammar lessons. Because like when it came back from Casa, all of his apologies to Kaylor were like, I'm so sorry that this happened and that it upset you. I was like, no. You're sorry that you made out with this girl and lied to her about it and that you did something hurtful. Yeah. You knew that it would hurt this person and you did it anyway. Not this like, I'm so sorry this happened. Shut up. Yeah. Anyway.
No, that's true. And I think a lot of watching this is doing a lot of like reverse investigation where you're like, oh, that's something. Oh, there's something. Like, and there's definitely a disconnect with him. Where when she even talks about the dog and she's like, or like
Juan.
I know. I love how he talks Spanish to him, like as if it's going to like make a difference, just because his name is Juan.
That dog was so.
I know. We start out at Malibu Wines, which is a lovely place if you've never been, and it's so fun.
No one's ever taken me there.
I think my mom and I went for like Mother's Day.
Oh, we got a cat in the shot. Oh my God.
I think, whoa, that's probably a shot.
Is he a Leo as well? Because he's acting like one.
Wait,
I love it.
Or birthday is in April.
Her birthday is 4/20.
Yeah.
Lit.
But what does that make him?
Aries.
I don't know what that means.
My dad was an Aries.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Then.
I'm a Leo. I don't care about others.
Yeah. Yeah. We start kind of bouncing back and forth between the vineyard and the boys doing their Muay Thai and coffee.
Yeah.
But yeah, we start with the girls talking about Saddle Ranch and Aaron and Kaylor and what happened and the boys she brought and whether she wants to get back with Kaylor or Aaron.
I love that they still are wondering if they're boning behind the scenes. Like
they have good physical chemistry. Like they look like they want to bang,
Aaron and
but
Yeah.
Kaylor.
Aaron and Kaylor. Yeah. So like just along with my gripe about the good part about Love Island is that it's in real time and so
well, we
right
know they
now
didn't do it because she's still with the guy who looks like he's in middle school.
and so
Like,
that is what is really bumming me out because
yeah,
the most riveting well, Kendall gets a little interesting
will they
later.
or won't they?
Yeah, but the will they won't they between those two is
Yeah.
and really wanting them to like even though you know like that they've got a battle that they'd have to take on, they still you just really want these two to be happy together because they were so happy when they were together. Like we've seen that. But the other shitty thing about this is that also when on the normal Love Island, they're keeping them separated, so they're not allowed to have conversations off camera.
For Beyond the Villa, they said they can't.
No. That's why I'm saying that the Beyond the Villa is different. Right now, we're basically working with every other reality show ever. And what I think a lot of people's biggest gripes with reality shows, if they're not just like hardcores like we are and are just like in it for who gives a shit.
They're just hanging out.
Yeah. But like you can tell that it's like, I think you guys have already had this conversation before.
Oh,
or
I
like
see.
it's just annoying, and it's hard. It takes you out of it. And so now I just like everything that they would talk about when they were on the island, I really believed like this is the first time you've been told
Right.
this. This is a genuine reaction. And the cameras on those are like, like lodged in places. And so you really do get a feeling that you're like a voyeur into a life. Whereas,
Yeah.
now they all have their own lives. You can't track them all day. Like they're basically meeting the camera guy and the production crew at the venue, and then
Yeah, like there's a call time and there's setup
Yeah.
and pre-pro and,
And,
all
like,
the
yeah, and if they drove together, then like they've done like okay, so let's talk about this, whatever. So this was just like that is why like this show is just it's not hitting for me because I think I'm all about find the thing that you're good at and do the fuck out of it and don't dick around with other shit. And I think that they did this cast. I think that this cast is the reason that this show exists. Or did you? I think you said that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, the only reason this show exists is because everyone fell in love with that season 6 cast so hard, rightfully so.
Yeah.
And just followed along. And when like a few people have been like, oh, season 5 was equally good. I don't know about equal.
Yeah.
They don't get to
Well,
be on
we
the
ain't
vlog.
talking about them.
Exactly.
I don't even
yeah.
know any of their
Yeah.
names.
Right. Nobody's talking about them except the one that has a podcast and I don't even know their name.
No disrespect.
None at all.
I wouldn't know, but that's because I don't know.
Yeah. And there's a reason. It's because season 6 cast was amazing.
Yeah.
I think if it was a little more, we're all moving to LA to become like to cash in on this fame, not blatantly.
Well, it's like that's what was like not the only issue, but one of the big ones with like the last awful season of Vanderpump Rules was that like at least for the first half, once they started talking about dancing, Ariana getting on Dancing with the Stars, it started to like open it up a little bit. But if it was like, hey, like, whoa, everybody in the whole wide world is paying attention to us. And like there's all this conversation and we're famous and whatever. And like there was a scene in like one of the first like 2 episodes of season 11 where Sheena is talking to Tom Sandoval in the what should be designated as a historic landmark, if you're asking
As
me.
a historic landmark.
Third Alley, okay? And she's like referring to him singing Stacy's mom and his cover band and replacing the lyrics with Raquel or Tom Schwartz or whatever.
Schwartz's mom.
And they would not show clips of it. They didn't show any clips of him doing it or examples of him doing it. And it was so bizarre. Like,
Was it a copyright thing?
there's 100. I have one. I have a video of him doing it. I went to one of the most extra shows just to live stream it. Like, I could have sent them a video. I guarantee that was not the issue. Like, it just was bizarre. Like, they would not just address, like, that was the whole point. That's why everything was so hard for everybody. Everybody's talking about them. Everybody knows everything. That's not why it was hard. It's just, it was a very critical aspect of like how their storylines were developing. The fact that there's a name, Sandoval, not just like hello. And so their refusal to sort of acknowledge that they had attention on them because they're on this show, it was very frustrating
Yeah.
Very frustrating to watch because Lala and their whole thing was like, oh, Ariana didn't want to film with Tom, and like I have to feed my child. I have to feed my child. Like, no, if you just said like, hey, we're making money from this show, and like I'm concerned that we won't be employed on this show anymore, which by the way, that's your own fault that you're not. There's aspects that this Beyond the Villa show will allow them to say, I guess, which is at this point, I feel like it's required viewing for anyone who watches Love Island because, or at least post season 6, because Aaron had to like fully sign off the internet. He was depressed. He went into the forest. Kaylor's like, yeah, I really liked my life before. Serena's like, I have panic attacks every single day that makes Cordell want to wake up before me because I'm gonna have a panic attack when I wake up. Like immediate fame like that when you're in this psychological like isolation, psychological warfare situation where they don't even tell you what time it is, and then all of a sudden you're really effing famous. Like
That is such a good point.
now they're kind of like when they're not miserable, but they're struggling. They're
Yeah.
struggling
Well,
with
and
it.
it's also different because like any other show, like had they done Beyond the Villa, which they wouldn't have first, or just a season of whatever, The Valley, or a guest of, or whatever, friend of, like, or just got cast on a regular reality show that filmed
Yeah.
6 months ago, 9 months ago, that kind of trickled out. You do a little press. Your rise to fame is a lot slower and more gradual and easier to handle.
Yeah.
You're stuck in a literal Fijian villa at summer camp for 60 days or however long it is. You know nothing of nothing except the crew and your brand new best friends you've ever had in your entire life, and this guy that you love, or this girl that's like, oh, I never met anybody like, and then next thing you know, okay, you guys thanks a lot, get on the plane. Well, the last
Dude.
episode was Wednesday. It's fucking Saturday. I get home on Sunday, my phone, and I'm like literally one of the most famous people on planet Earth. What?
They have like on staff, on demand, on site, like I don't know if they're psychiatrists or
Yeah, no,
psychologists
they definitely do.
typically, but they have like people there, and
Yeah.
that's like when Sierra went home this season, for example. I don't think or maybe it was Ulisa, who I don't know, somebody, but they didn't have their phone for like a day or two, and they were like in the hotel before like getting on their flight back home. But like part of the reason for that is so that these medical professionals or whatever can like sort of figure out what exactly they're preparing them for.
Yeah.
I understand that there's like, I'm not trying to disregard the efforts that are put into place by like on the side of the show, like to equip these people with their life after whatever. But at the same time, it's like you literally won't tell these people what time of day it is every day.
Yeah.
You literally will not tell them what time it is. Like that's insane to me.
And there's no way to prepare. Like you, and like I'm sitting here thinking like, well, also these guys are I'm devil's advocating myself. But they're like, I'm like, at this point, you go on the show hoping, expecting, planning that when you come off of it.
At this point,
sure.
Yeah.
But even at season 6 point, like people are getting famous. So I just think like if you're going on that show, it's for a purpose, right? Like my point is just like you can think about that and plan all you want and be like, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. But once it happens, it's like, oh, wait, what? I didn't wait. This is, you can't plan for it. You can't plan for how you're going to feel. You can't plan for, effectively so much money. You think you can do whatever and pay all your bills. And like that changes. It changes a person. It changes everything. So like, and it's got to be tough to deal with. And especially, and then I bet a therapist is probably even worse. Like, okay, so here's what's going to happen. Here's what's happened since you've been gone. You're not listening to that guy or that. You're just like, wait, what? Give me my phone. I'm famous.
But listen. I think all of that has just made me realize, and I didn't even think about this before, because all I've been looking at is like, what is this show missing? And you hate, like the worst thing to do in our like, well, just like in my old line of work, like bring a problem, bring a solution. And so
literally don't complain.
Yeah.
I don't mean don't complain. I'm saying if you bring a problem to somebody, It'd be cool
if you had some
if you brought a
suggestions.
solution.
Yeah.
That's all I mean. It would be cool.
Rewatching Vanderpump is what like really solidified like, no, I know that these people on the Valley are not friends because I just watched a show of true friends, whatever kind of friends. I'm not even speaking on that, but like true, solid, foundational relationships, history, a dynamic, like something. Whereas on the Valley, it just seemed like when I realized like, and Brittany said it from the get that her and Jax were basically like, talk about who they wanted to get, and she'd be like, okay, I'll take these people, you take these people, and they would just walk down their street because they're all their friends kind of live around the neighborhood, and they would just walk to their house and say, so yeah. Exactly. So I knew that, but just hearing you guys just now talk about all of those things that these kids are going through, it seemed like they just decided, let's do this show, let's make this second show for this cast because they're so great. And what is the show? We'll figure it out later. But like,
literally, I don't think anybody knew what the hell like they were even.
But like, since this show is about a show that is like no other show, and about all those components that you said, like you're on this island, you talk to no one, you don't know what time it is, you have no phone, the world is blowing up around you, and you have no idea that there's like we're on the brink of a war somewhere, and like that's intense and incredible. So it's one thing to break the fourth wall and want to stay away from that. But if you're already doing, it's not really a fourth wall when you're doing a show about
the people on the show because they were famous on the show.
Exactly. And what happened to them when they left. Like, I want to know the first like fucking headline that someone like was like, wait, what's going on in Israel? Like, and maybe half of them don't care, but I'm saying like, that's a massive thing that happened while they were in there.
Love Island was a big show before USA season 6. Yes. But more so for the UK version. Like, people were not memeing all of the people on the US shows. Like, there was one from someone who didn't watch any of the Love Island, whatever, anything prior to season 6, all I knew was this guy Bergie, because then he was on other shows. He like found love. I think he was season 5.
Huh?
Do you know who I'm talking about? If you don't,
I've heard of him because people will tell me like, because since I was a newcomer to Love Island, I would ask questions like, well, how does this work? Or what is this? And people would always chime in the comments, and they're like, you should check out Bergie's. He talks about it with great affection.
I think Serena did an interview or somebody where she was like, I don't think anybody's like, I didn't think that many people were really going to watch it. Like, Love Island was like a big show in the UK, but like not really the US. And so it was like, I didn't really think anybody like, I'd go on this thing and like, yeah, I know people will see it, but like not that many, which is like, say whatever you want about that, you know, opinion or whatever that she had. But based on, the data she had available to her at the time, it absolutely was not going to turn into what it did.
Yeah.
Right.
If the season 6 cast went in being like, yeah, I know I'm going to be on TV, but it's not going to be like the most famous thing ever, versus the season 7 cast being like, this might be the most famous thing ever.
Yeah.
But like that's where there's this like very stark, like too much awareness of the audience that they were bringing.
Yeah.
Were either of you real world watchers?
Yes.
Because I remember when they wheeled in a TV in Chicago to the Chicago cast when 9/11 happened, and they had to like, like in school where they would like wheel in the television to like let them know that it happened.
Oh my God,
like,
I forgot about that.
But wait, I thought they had to like go have jobs and shit.
They did. They were doing stuff. They had jobs.
But they didn't have like access to.
Like, they probably did that on the day that it happened. They're probably not allowed to have a TV there. And so if they're all in the house and they don't have phones and TVs, like that whole day could have gone. They probably did it on the day of to be like, this is what's happening.
Yeah, I'm talking about the day. It was like while it was happening. They were, I think we need to like tell them what's going on.
I was flying and they had to land my plane on 9/11.
Christ.
Isn't that crazy? Like I
I
don't
was
fly a ton. I would go see my dad twice a year, and that was just happened to be one of the days I was going to visit my dad in Oklahoma.
Oh my God, I was living in Oklahoma at the time.
Shut
That's
up.
so fucking weird. I lived in Tulsa for 2 very random years for my 9th and 10th grade of high
So
school.
crazy.
That's so
I would
weird.
have never in a million years thought that you'd live there.
Yeah, I was at school in Tulsa where I, by the way, had math class with the guy who's now a singer of like my favorite band ever named Laney, because we had math class together. And it was all just very, and then also I was classmates with the girl who ended up on the Housewives of Atlanta for like 1 season as a friend.
That's hilarious.
I was in a Christian school, so we had to go to chapel.
Yeah, I did too. My whole life.
People are like on their knees and speaking in tongues, and
My sister still does.
and I had never been to New York. I was, well, I don't know, 14 or something. And then they wheeled in the TV cart.
The AV cart.
Yeah, the AV.
The old AV cart. It was like the audio video cart. That's what it was
Yes.
called. Had a little plug in.
Yeah, there's always one kid assigned to the
Yeah,
audio
yeah.
video
Little
department.
VCR comes on it.
He'd be the kid that would have to get up and
Yeah.
because he worked for the AV department.
Yeah,
By the way, I did do the morning announcements.
Are you
Anyway,
serious?
the real world included that in the show. Like when it aired, they showed them like disrupting to let them know what had taken place or whatever. And I'm not suggesting that they need to do that in the villa and come in and say, hey, by the way, like
Yeah.
Donald Trump said something stupid. Like, no, we do that.
They'd be wheeling that thing in like
Yeah,
every
too.
2 minutes.
Anyway, but I and maybe I'm not watching enough shows. I don't know. I'm watching a lot of them though, and I can't imagine. I cannot recall a current show, like a show that's currently being filmed that isolates people in that way. Even like, you know, you go on Traders or you do the Navy SEAL thing, the one that's coming at Special Forces. Like it's still not quite as isolating.
Yeah. This show would be a much more interesting show if it was like life after this. You've been this couple, like I said, tell me the first headline you saw, tell me the first out, like when my girlfriend got sent away to boarding school when we were younger, like I remember her coming back and being like, you missed a whole Snoop Dogg album.
Oh my, no, I remember I lived in Orlando, Florida when Casey Anthony was going on.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, bro, like, cause she got like out of prison or whatever. And I was like, dude, like the iPhone had been invented in the time
Yeah.
that she,
Even just these couples, like what's the pressure like to stay together when like you're getting so many deals as a couple? Like you're so much more interesting if the couple stays together. Like I am so excited to get to, like, if this show continues to go on, to hear anybody say like, I knew within a couple weeks that like we weren't gonna like this, we weren't gonna make a life together, that like this, but then like we had all these things already planned. And
I could get into what I think about the current cast about that, but I'm going to hold my tongue.
yeah.
I should send you that clip of like, it was like Dave Portnoy basically like dragging
Yeah.
Aaron. And apparently that day, one of his grandparents had passed away. And then he went on, because he references it at some point in this Beyond the Villa, one of these scenes. He says something about, you know, I lost my grandma and then we did BFFs that day and then you weren't there for me and da-da-da. Like it was like a very quick, I don't remember when it was or exactly what he said, but like he brought it up at some point. So it's like, tell me why show me why it was upsetting, because you got dragged on this podcast while Kaylor was giggling. Like while you were still like technically together, like there are things being referenced that if I hadn't watched that and made content about it, I would have no idea what he's, oh, my grandma passed away and then we went on BFFs. I'd be like, what do you, wait, who's your best friend? What are you talking about? Like that? No, that was a podcast on like a major, you know, channel. That, like he just dragged you for filth, and it was hilarious. But I didn't know that you lost your grandma that day, so that's helpful for context, you know. Literally.
Yeah, totally. So I think that if they just did a little rejiggering, retooling of like what this show is, like it's too far along for us to get invested in like what's going to happen, because we already know what's going to happen because they're all still doing their TikToks and still out, whatever. You know, knowing that Kaylor's boyfriend is still her boyfriend is a bummer. I'm not invested in like the Aaron
But that's
story.
the thing. She's still dating that little guy.
Kid who looks like he's in fucking 8th grade.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a cutie.
Torin.
Torin.
Toblerone.
Toblerone. He's about the size of a Toblerone. Torin. No, he looks like the kid that did the backpack dance kid. Sia kid. Remember?
Wasn't he on an SNL performance with Katy Perry one time?
So yeah.
Didn't he do like flossing or whatever?
Yeah. No, I saw him doing that at one of her shows. I didn't even see the SNL of it.
Wait, was it Katy Perry or was it Sia?
He definitely was on SNL with Katy Perry.
Yeah, and I definitely saw
Sia was his.
It was not Katy Perry's best performance. Let's just say that. It was very weird. She was like doing the robot while Migos was rapping. So.
All right. Well, do you think Kaylor and what still wants to be with Aaron? Like at this time, I guess. Like when we went through this whole thing of like it's hard to have these discussions knowing what we know.
They seem very happy right now.
Who? Kaylor and her current boyfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's not a lot of reason to root for the Aaron storyline, because if you are watching their current media, their current socials, you're not going to bet against. Like, she looks totally happy and he seems like a lovely person to her, and so yeah, like it just this just needs to be way more centered on something so much more specific than like what are they doing now, because we already know what they're doing now. You're actually giving us very outdated material.
Yeah.
There are so many things that are so frustrating about this show that like disrupt what could be really great and authentic. And the fact that they're all forced to be in LA to film it is like probably the biggest one. Like, I know we're not talking about Kenny and Janae yet, but this whole like, he doesn't want to live with me. No, he doesn't want to stay in the same place, basically hotel room with you for 2 months. That's really what we're talking about. He doesn't even want to stay in the same place with you for 2 months. It's not he never wants to live with me. It's he doesn't want a vacation and film in this or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
For 2 months. It's not a permanent living decision, number one. But the Kaylor and Aaron thing is like, okay, well, if we already know that they don't get back together, like the dynamic of them at Saddle Ranch Chop House, which I heard you guys talking about last week. I was like, nobody fucking goes.
No,
nobody goes there if they don't like if they're not killing time before their House of Blues concert starts or whatever.
Dude,
like,
no one goes there.
What are we doing here?
But
that whole conversation between them of like, oh, I thought you wanted to kiss me, and whatever. Like the dynamic of them working through being broken up and dating new people, like that's still interesting. It's just. It's just you're forcing them into it. So it's like, let's be like how I know we're both, we're going to make this show because everybody like wants to know about our lives, but it's really hard to see him. Yeah. And it's hard for me to see her and like just I don't know why it's so hard. I don't know why. Mike, can you tell us why these like networks refuse to just admit that they're filming a show? Like, please help us.
I wish I could. I mean, listen, there's always been a thing of not lifting the curtain, right? Like, don't lift the curtain, don't show. Because, and I don't know if I think it's becoming outdated, and reality's probably helping that. Now, and social media is helping that. But like this old school thing of like, it's magic. We're making magic, and you're not supposed to know how we make it, and it's supposed to be take you away and escapism and all that stuff. And so as soon as you show someone how that's being made, then there's no more escapism. So that's probably why. That being said, again, like we were just talking, like there's only one reason this show exists, and it's because the cast were so amazing. And so you brought them to LA. None of them really live here. A couple of them do, but like, great, what do we do? Why are we here? Oh, we're only here for 2. Like, that's the weird, like, it is that weird part. It's like, we all know you're going back home. Like, Aaron's going to go back to England.
We know that there's literally no art on all of your kitchen appliances are the same. Yeah. They're in the same order. Your countertops look the same. There's no, like, what do we do? Why are we pretending that you're like moving into, no,
And then
do they think that we think that is my biggest question is like, do you think that we think this is what's happening? Like
the two couples that is maybe possibly happening for real is Miguel and Leah and Cordell and like we get none of it. We get like a little bit of those people, and all we're getting is the couples that don't exist. It's so crazy.
in their weird model apartment.
I do love that Aaron chose to live in Venice as opposed to everyone else living in West Hollywood.
Yeah. He's like, I don't want to be.
Yeah, and I just love that about him so much. He really is so interesting to me, and I do think that there is a big element of people staying together, or maybe even building like what really feels like very intense love, but it's like on The Bachelor. Like, of course you were in love on The Bachelor. You are living on an island and every need is catered to. And it's, like there's just something about all that is so fucking exciting.
Forgot about The Bachelor, my whole like isolation rant. I completely forgot about that show.
Yeah, that one is like we stopped doing The Bachelor halfway through this last season, or The Bachelorette, or I can't even remember which one it was. It was so uninspiring.
Yeah, it just got dumb.
Just because they refused to break from the like.
Yeah.
There is one rose remaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That means whoever gets like, shut up. We know they're gonna go home. Like, why are we still doing this? It's to the point where I was frustrated on this season of Love Island, like sort of on Ariana's behalf, because it's like, girl, why are they making her stand there so long with this music playing for her to be like, whoever's da-da-da will be dumped from the villa. Like, over. We know. Like, why are we still being treated like this?
There's like fist-sized bugs like flying by Ariana's face. Like, can we just get through this?
My biggest gripe, whether it's documentaries or reality TV, is like, do you think I'm stupid? Like, show your audience respect.
Well,
I'm done. Thank you for that.
I know, me too. Yeah. We'll just end it on producers of Love Island. Please retool your Beyond the Villa. You've got a clear as day show here that it would totally work. We're all interested in these kids. We all want to know what the fuck they're up to and their lives, and they're dry. Like, I'm sure they've got all these managers now, and they're having these conversations, and they're getting sent to this studio and having to figure out where to park at this studio. There's like 900 structures all over the place. Like. One thing I'll add about the psychiatrist things is that when The Voice first started, Mike was on the first season. Well, he was on several seasons of The Voice, but he started that show when it premiered.
He started it.
Yeah.
I was like the seventh or eighth person hired on that show when it came to America.
Like, they were kind of just figuring it out still on day one of battles. So him and his boss call me, are you busy right now? We need someone to basically walk the cast that's right after they do their battle. They need to go see the psychiatrist. And it was only the people that were losing the battle. They were the battle losers, because the battle winners were like getting ushered to a room, probably sign their life away. Yeah.
No, we still have it on. There's on AGT. Like, there on any competition show, you have to have a on set like psychologist or whatever, because people even on AGT the judges will rail them.
Yeah.
Like Simon used to just destroy kids.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And they would come off stage and just. If it's a kid, they're crying. Sometimes it's an adult and they're just losing their mind. You get that one person that's like, no, my mom told me I could sing. And you're like, right, you can't sing. And so now, and you tell, and then
actually, you're horrible.
Yeah, exactly. And you tell them that for the first time, and they literally, like, people lose their fucking minds.
Yeah.
They literally lose their minds. And we have on AGT, it's Dr. Chris. He's actually a pretty famous guy. He's on like, The Doctors and The View. Like, if there's an on-camera doctor that they're like, oh, we brought in our network therapist, or what, it's Dr. Chris usually.
But what studio was that at?
Downtown. What was that studio downtown?
LA
Center
Studios. Yeah,
that one.
Okay, so are you sure it was that one for season one?
Well, I think
or
we
battles
also maybe
Sony.
Somewhere else. We did Sony.
Okay, it wasn't Sony, because it was a studio. I worked at all the bigger studios. I've never worked at whatever. You know, I'm just trying to say that I had never been to the one that I had to go to. And so like the fucking the psych office, from anyone who works at studios knows that these are massive pieces of land and they all require maps. And if you've never been on one, it's going to take you a minute. You know, once you figure it out.
I worked on them when I worked in Newt. Like I was in the NBC. Well, first I was in Burbank, the Burbank
Yeah.
like studio lot that iHeart bought, and Days of Our Lives and stuff was shot there, and then we moved onto the Universal lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a bunch of shit.
And also
going
I
on.
lived right near CBS Radford. Okay. I know.
That's a great area.
Yeah.
Radford is like, listen, Radford is like not like a studio that like I feel like anybody cares about, but it's my favorite one to work
was
at.
filmed there.
Wait, Seinfeld was at Radford? Oh no, I can't hear you. Okay.
I don't know what we were talking about, but I feel like it was off
Off the beaten path. Okay. We just had a little technical snafu, so we're gonna try to remember where it was that we all got cut off from each other.
Well, we were kind of just rambling, to be honest. When we get to Kenny and Miguel beating each other up, not enough at the thing, and then coffee, where Kenny finally decides to tell Miguel what actually happened with the whole living situation.
But you know how Kenny described it?
How?
He said, and this is back to my apology thing. He said, I misspoke. That's what he told Miguel.
Yeah.
I misspoke.
I guess.
Which, you did, but
when he said in retrospect, it was like, did you really need retrospect? Like, and that's what's weird about this show is that it's like he had too much time to prepare for this conversation of what he was going to say to Miguel.
Right.
And so that's another gripe. Just like, but he's showing his ass, and that's nice. Like, do you think that they re-edited?
I don't know. I've wondered.
It looked to me as if they went back in to show conversations that like we would have never normally seen had they not needed to show a buildup to what we all knew was coming. And it seems like some things that they're showing about Kenny, like if I really like, and it's not too bad, but it's just subtle enough where if I really like Kenny and Kenny's a guy that I want to continue coming on the show, like I don't know if I would have showed some of the ways that he was very kind of callous about the dog. Like nobody likes a guy that doesn't like a dog. Like that's a rule. That's in the top 5 rules of character love.
Yeah, old people, dogs, and babies. Isn't that like?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you got to be obsessed with your animals.
Yeah.
And
when Leah said, like, when she was asked, like, oh, if Miguel proposed, would you say yes? And she immediately was like, yeah. That didn't surprise me at all because the only time that I'm aware of that he went back to the UK for like an extended period of time, or not ever that he ever went back to the UK, but initially it was right after the season ended so he could deal with his work visa and immediately came back to LA and like has been there ever since. And she's in Calabasas. Like, I don't think Miguel's out like on the Sunset Strip, whatever. He's hanging out with Leah and her animals on like her family farm, whatever. Like he's been with her ever since. And so this whole like Kenny, like I have an apartment in 2 different cities. You live in this 3rd city, and now we're maybe could be in the same room, like hotel room essentially for 2 months
in a 4th city.
And Miguel's like, bro, I left my country.
Yeah.
I want to be with Leah. Like,
and apparently left his country and all of his clothes.
Oh, he did?
Like literally brought the wife beater and the black sweatsuit. And that is it. That's all. I've not seen him in any other clothes.
The investigation I would like to initiate is where on God's green, maybe now it's brown and dusty earth, do the Love Island men get their tattoos?
They're next level.
So bad and large.
Yeah.
The current season of Men.
Yeah.
What are these tattoos? And Miguel is fine as hell. Oh, that rhymes. I'm a rapper. But he's got these like eyes right here.
The eyes, like, the infinity, the what is it called? What are those? They're
really aggressive looking. Yeah. I don't know. They're large. It's a lot.
No, it's a lot.
There has got to be one place all these guys are going because I cannot imagine. places all over the country are doing these insanely large, horrific tattoos.
I know.
Listen.
I was telling him, I'm sorry, we are going to get back on track, but I was telling him about how I'm like, you know, you see Coco's posts and when she talks on podcasts, she's like very polite and very like, doesn't talk shit on people. And then I said, but the other day, I went into her Valley live because it's a Bravo thing. Like I can't watch it till 8. So I was like, I'm going to get 3 hours in on my notes and watch the live. And then I was like, people will come in and be like, oh my God, just turn it back on or whatever. And you'll stop it and you'll be like, oh, hi, Boogalooga Choo Choo, is it? Yeah. Why don't you go buy your own fucking Peacock account, you stupid fucking cow? Like, and then you'll be like,
people are like, can you turn the camera? Can you rewind it? Can you pause? How many minutes are we in? Can you be quiet? I'm trying to watch a show. Oh, great. Nope. Unless you're in a hostage situation. Don't take to a chair in somebody's basement. No one, which if you are, call 911. Let me know and I'll help you. But if you're not, no one's forcing you to be here, and feel free to pay for your own cable subscription. I need money on these. I make $0 from these live streams.
No, I think it's hilarious because there's always, I feel like mass majority of the people in there are your people, but then someone will just like find like saunter in. And then you're like, oh God, you're sticking out like a sore thumb. You will tell them where to shove it. And then all of your people will come to your aid and be like, yeah, Coca, get him.
Even if I said nothing, people will be like, shut up, leave, get out.
Yeah.
Stop it. This is her live. You're in her living room. Be respectful of our host. Like,
yeah. Coca has Swifties.
Yeah.
Listen, there are not conspiracy theories about my lesbian affairs with celebrity models, all right? Don't lump my followers in with Swifties. Or no, I guess those are called like Gaylers.
Yeah, no, the Gaylers are
Yeah, the Gaylers.
There's a whole article about them recently that they're ruining it for everyone.
And also it's like if I just ignore them, like they'll go away. Like, but I can't. It's so hot because I'm like, hey.
No, I know. It's my favorite part of the lives.
The next big thing was date night, where Kendall showed up late, making this poor girl drive from Temecula.
Yeah, my mom lives there, so we have to make that drive.
He made her come all the way out here.
I did not enjoy the date. That's all you need to know. I did not enjoy it. Sorry, I'm just getting my water.
Okay.
I mean, listen, I'm glad that she told him that she wasn't happy about it. I don't think she enjoyed the date because I'm not sure she knows what the whole point of the mini golf.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I gotta watch the show. I'm not gonna watch the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, you might want to watch everything.
Yeah.
And he's wearing a really bad date outfit.
No, he is. So if you wanted to know if Kendall ever gave two shits about this girl, which I didn't believe it when he met her at the event. Then you would look at how he got there late. If she was really driving all the way from Temecula, you can be there on time. And also that sweatshirt, like I understand that like some cute jeans and a hoodie, but show me some kind of like, oh, my friend's company, like not some fucking Champion sweatshirt.
When the shot showed him getting out of the car, and listen, I know that like wide leg jeans are like making a comeback and stuff. But to pair wide leg jeans with a random sneaker and a gray hoodie, I was like, I would leave. And you know what else I would leave? If a guy who looked like Toblerone showed up, I would be like, I'm sorry, my ex is tanner and beefier and has Devon Sawa in the Casper movie hair. Like, you gotta don't get out of here. Yeah. You can't be in the same room. You look like you're in 7th grade. Yeah. Leave.
Yeah, that was a weird ass date.
That was a weird date. And it's honestly, and I know that we're going to get into it and we're going to and I don't mean to speculate on this person, but like, I cannot put my finger on him. I know that there's been many very disconnected moments, like the way that he looks at people, the way that he talks, the lack of eye contact, sometimes the lack of intimacy in his hugs, like they're not like real embraces. again, just talking about Kendall.
Kendall, yeah.
Not Aaron. Okay, Kendall, yeah.
As everyone knows, we're super new to Love Island. So season 6 was our first go at it, and it was a speed read. And so when we watched the reunion, at first we were like, God, Ariana's doing a piss poor job at this hosting thing of a reunion. That's what I thought, because I thought they're talking about something, but we have no idea what they're talking about because we just finished this 5 seconds ago. So we haven't had the month that other viewers have. So we didn't know what they were arguing about. We didn't know what the thing that had happened, and it felt like it went on for 15 minutes of people just talking over each other and going down this rabbit hole of like I just had no idea. I could not catch up, and normally you can find something to grab onto, and I never could. So to come and find out just like which could be pure conspiracy, pure speculation, whatever, but we did get some comments about that the video was of him and another man. And I
no, that's not true. That's not true.
I have a friend who this isn't just people in my comment section. I have a good friend who saw it with his own eyes. It was
So did I.
Saw the video,
Yes.
and it wasn't a man.
Well, it was Kendall, but he wasn't with anyone.
But it wasn't something you would send to another man.
Here's what I'm going to say. It was focused more on the backside of his body. So that is where people decided that it was meant for a man. No one involved with the cast, nor the cast, has ever said that it was meant for a man or sent to a man. And Nicole, well, let me pause because I could keep going and go on to her Vial Files interview, but there was no one else in the video, and the reason that he was doing stuff that one enjoys with himself on his front side, and then there were parts where he was like, look at my back. He didn't say anything. There was focus on his backside, and so people decided, obviously, he's gay. That's what happened. Yeah.
One part of the story for my friend was that it was a Grindr video.
Well, nobody knows that.
Oh.
No one knows that.
This person's just like not like a speak out of his ass person. So that's the only reason I've given no pun intended.
Have a screen recording that had Grindr like in it, like because there's no way to know.
I will now go back and ask, like, you saw this logo, but I don't know why he would tell me it was a Grindr video if he didn't know that it was a Grindr video.
Because I don't know your friend, and I'm not doubting their like.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, somebody could have uploaded that on Grindr. Or I actually don't know how that works, but
as far as I know, there's never been any kind of anything that shows what app he was actually on.
Okay.
Part of the reason why, in my opinion, Nicole's Vial Files appearance was so despicable.
Right. And I'm with you on all of that, really, regardless. I'm really only bringing any of this up because there are so many weird things. And even the way that the cast talks about it feels very like no one really wants to talk about it. And so maybe they are evolved enough to know that, no, don't talk about someone else's sex tape. No, don't talk about someone else's tape that was taken and distributed without their consent. So maybe these kids are just, like I said, a more evolved version of like the Gen Xers that I hang out with. But that's why, the only reason I'm entertaining it is just all the weird
No, I get it.
Around it.
Because what I was going to say about the Vial Files thing is that Nick, during the course of the interview, several times was like trying to get Nicole to say that she thought it was to a man. Like he was prompting her with things. He
was leading the witness.
Yeah. And he didn't say that, do you think it was to a man? But he would say things like, do you believe the story that it was a girl on Raya? Do you believe that it was on Raya to a girl? Like stuff like that. And her answer was no, but it was because she was convinced it was somebody had a relationship, like a girl, like an ex-girlfriend or something, or no, that's what Kendall said, that it was an ex and not just a girl on a dating app. Like either way, they were disagreeing, but like Nick was trying to get her to say, like, it. I mean, it's a long interview. I rewatched all of it today in preparation for this. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
For her or Nick and Natalie. Regardless of who was the recipient, the intended recipient of that message, and when it was sent, I don't care if it was the day before he went to the villa.
Oh, yeah, me neither.
He didn't know Nicole existed.
Exactly.
He is about to go on a dating show.
He could go home 5 minutes later. He could get there and literally be turned around and sent back home.
None of that stuff would make me be like, I think less of you as a person.
Yeah, no, Mike and I totally agree on that. Like, we didn't think that, like, until you are literally in this woman's arms, she is just a figment of your imagination. So you owe no one anything.
Her whole thing was like, you lied to me. You said that it was like with somebody that you were in a relationship with in the past and blah, blah, blah. Like, you lied. Like, and he said to her, like, I freaked out. Like, I panicked. I freaked out. Like, I don't want you to get upset. I thought you would break up with me. Like, so he's, I'm not here to defend men lying, but if he was honest with her about the reason that he lied and what the lie was and why he said it. And then when they went on the reunion, he said, something happened and we haven't been doing great. And she brought up the video. He never wanted to discuss it.
Right.
So my issue was like, this is not your trauma to speak up. And she continued to be like, this is making me look bad. And I'm getting messages and like, I'm so betrayed. And it just was like wild. I don't even like Kendall. I never liked Kendall during the season.
When we
like,
find out
I
later,
totally liked him. He was one of my favorites.
He's Carlton. We find out in this episode too that was his beef. Was like, we weren't going to talk about this. Like we agreed to figure it out later and not bring it up on the reunion. And then she blasted him on the reunion, which I was like, I spent a lot of time when that rumor came out being like, because I like to, everyone's like, oh, I'll listen to podcasts while I do my stuff. I like to watch people talk. I want to see your face and your body language and whatever. And so I remember saying like, oh, that to me, that makes so much sense that this rumor might be true because of how uncomfortable he was when it came out. But then when I hear, no, dude, like we agreed not to talk about it until later and not bring it up. And then she drops that bomb, equally uncomfortable, probably double uncomfortable if there is any, that may be like, listen, that video, you can send that to a girl. Like if the way you're describing it, like if some girls like
people like,
if he was stunned because they had agreed not to talk about it, then that would also to me explain his like deer in headlights. Oh fuck, what's happening? Wait, no, why are you doing this?
But anyway, whatever.
Nothing really. There's a little catch up scene at the sandwich shop.
To hear her, I'm literally leaving to go to Fiji.
That's what snapped me back into the timeline. That I was like, oh right, you're just a normal show now with normal production, even though that is still faster than most productions.
Yeah,
like this. I thought this was filmed a lot longer ago.
I think I looked it up, and I think if I remember correctly, it was like April, March of this year that they shot it.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. A lot of these shows would be like 9 months, a year.
At least.
One thing that I will say about that scene is that it made me realize that like no matter how useless a scene is, I will listen to Leah like wax for Miguel anywhere. Like you can show me her saying how when she's like, do you want to marry him? I need to marry this guy. Like
he's my guy.
He's my guy.
He's my person.
Yeah. And same goes for Miguel. Everything that he says about her, every TikTok I watch of him talking about her when she's getting ready or when she's trying to hop over a fence and he's like, look at this wild woman.
Yeah.
Like this couple, I don't know. Like, I don't know how they found each other, but I'm putting a lot
they
of
were on a dating show.
The
Love
Villa.
Island.
listen, I'm saying like, I don't know how the universe made sure that both of them went to this place at the same time.
Yeah, no, it is
but,
crazy. Opposite, like it always trips me out. Opposite, like people from totally different countries who end up together and spend their lives together or whatever. That trips me out.
This couple for me is too big to fail.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen any of the interviews any of these people did? Like how we're seeing now with the season 7 cast going on all these places. Like, have you watched?
No, and that's another thing that they could include in the new show that we're retooling for next season. Is I would like to follow them around. I would like to hear about their lives and how they get presented these things and how they pick and choose to do it. And like one of them was saying, I can't remember. I think it might have been an interview, but I don't remember which one. Was saying that like. It was kind of a real unnatural season. Now I understand why Rob didn't go because, like, my manager lined all these things up for me, which I thought they were going to go with me and sort of follow me into what I was doing over the summer, but they're not doing any of that. So I feel this whole thing feels very weird.
Nerdy Christian Grey man, Connor.
Colin works.
I believe that he's there because Rob isn't. And Rob, after his season, like Natalie, I said this in a series of voice messages to Natalie, everyone. I tried to find something about Rob, like, that was bad. Like, so I'm like looking for stuff. The worst thing I found about him. And I tried. And you know me. I'm putting in the work.
You're relentless, according to your tattoo.
The worst thing I found was him doing prank videos in a Walmart and a Home Depot.
Which I loved. Did you not love those? I was dying.
I don't follow those like kind of accounts, and I found them later, and I was like, he just wants to be on TV to promote it. Oh, he just... Like it just was, I was searching for like all the reasons to hate this beautiful man.
I know.
Those are the worst examples I found. I called him a jackass and a menace to society. I said that in my videos of him pranking a Walmart and a Home Depot worker, which, listen, they weren't great experiences for the employees of that store. They were annoying. But but that's the worst I could find of him. Then once he got out of the villa, he went on Call Her Daddy in his overalls without a shirt. And it was one of the most awkward things I've ever watched. Like he doesn't really want to be on TV.
Yeah. Rob
is going to be on Traders. And that is what makes me so excited to watch it. Because what do you mean? What do you mean? You're going to be on Traders? I've never been more excited to watch season Traders in my life.
I've never seen Traders, so.
Natalie, the last season Tom Sandoval was on, okay? And it's some of the best TV I've ever seen, and I hate him.
Would you hate it if Tom Sandoval came back to the Valley?
You freeze?
Listen, whatever he's doing on America's Got, isn't he on your show?
He'll be there Tuesday. Tuesday's on the first week.
I don't know how that show works. He doesn't just do one thing. He's like going to be, how long is he going to be on this show for?
So
as long as Simon says.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
We have auditions. That's like what we do first. So like technically that's your audition, right?
Yeah.
And then so he made it through auditions and now we're in the live shows and we have 4 weeks of like the, quarterfinals we call them. Then week 5 is the semis and then week 6 is the finale. So if he gets through Tuesday, then he'll go to the quarterfinals or the semifinals.
It does sound like he's been working on his vocals.
Listen, I thought they were fun. Like he's not the best singer in the world, but I was like, oh my God, I'm having a good time for 2.5 minutes. They were fun.
He picked really good cover songs.
Yeah, they pick great songs. The band is fun. Like they put on a good show. They're super entertaining.
I will say the show I went to, which was like in the immediate Sandoval aftermath, which I was not there yelling fuck you and Team Ariana. I'm not a weirdo. I just was there because I wanted to just like see what was going on. But he performed Sex on Fire by Kings of Leon,
Ugh.
shirtless, was writhing around on the stage. Isn't that sticky down there? It was weird. And
No, he's weird.
he got up and like walked into the crowd, and there were like girls being like, just like wanted to like rub his pecs. It was odd.
I'm shocked that 90% of the concert goers were not just there to just throw eggs at him.
I think a lot were, but they're able to behave about that. Like they're not gonna like scream like fuck you and like wear like I don't there were some like really weirdo like anti Tom pro Ariana, which everybody was or should be or whatever, like, but putting it in his face instead of just like trying to witness like what was happening. I don't know, it was just odd. I would never do that to a person or a
No,
performer.
that's
It was
gross.
weird to me, but whatever.
Also, just go home, Tom. God, just go home.
Please just
Like,
relax.
call it a day. Take a couple months off.
Do we have anything to say about Liv and Kaylor? Do we care?
Liv and Kaylor. I like Liv and Aaron's relationship. I think that I liked seeing them together, but it also feels very like, they're only there because both of them are beefing with Kaylor. So I don't know how.
What is their fight about?
Dude,
Yeah,
Is
at
it
this
a
point, I
spray
don't
tan?
know.
I'm so glad to hear you say this because that's exactly what I was thinking too. I'm like, it just very much sounds, I think that Liv is an opportunist to a point where she's like, I live in a different country. I am going to be best friends with this girl. Like,
Yeah.
like when she stayed with the parents, you know, like I understand that like, that there is an element here of like, when it works for Liv, she makes it work. And if she doesn't need, Kaylor for the spray tan or to go to glam or to go to this party or whatever, then like she might just leave Kaylor at home. I don't think she's vindictive against Kaylor. I just think that Kaylor is a very needy, clingy person.
Yes. Somebody said something about Kaylor and Aaron. I was like, Aaron seems exhausted.
Yeah.
And Kaylor seems exhausting.
Yeah.
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 That's
Like-
good.
But like I did believe when I saw them together at the villa that they were really into each other. I believe that it was like a very real connection. And so I do long for them to return to those happy faces that they each shared with each other, just looking at each other's stupid faces. Like that
But again,
is lovely.
that's the Fijian summer camp
Totally.
love villa.
Right.
Like everybody's chill there.
It's also like a Spice Girl. Like there weren't a lot of, non-Americans, just like this season, like in the villa, and she's like spicy and she was defending the other girls on the cast a lot. Like she was not afraid to like step up to a dude and be like, don't do this, you're wrong, whatever. Like I feel like a lot of people when the Kenny Janae stuff first came out were like, oh my God, I hope somebody is filming like the first time Liv like lays into this guy.
Yeah.
She's like verbally eviscerate this dude.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she'll see him ever. I don't know.
Whatever these scenes from the next are with Liv and Aaron, and it seems like Kaylor has a storm out because maybe they confront her with something. I don't know, but it seems like having Liv and Aaron on the same team about anything, whatever is going to get brought up at this dinner table, if both of them are in unison about it, it could be the smallest thing in the world, or it could be big. And I think that Kaylor is going to be very offended by anything. So I'm not expecting this storm out to be super warranted, like when it unfolds. But who fucking knows?
Literally
I don't
not.
know. But all of this to say, I do really love Kaylor as just a sweet young girl. Like I have no issues with her other than just these little brat moments that like she seems unable to control.
If this show did go on for however 10, 8, 9, 10 seasons, she reminds me of what Amanda from Summer House. Like when she goes back and just in this regards of like, if this show went on for 8 seasons, Kaylor would grow up, find somebody, become like a mature person, whatever, and look back at season 1 and 2 and be like, oh my gosh, what an idiot I was.
Yeah.
As we all were. Like you said, God forbid we didn't have a camera following us around at that age. Whereas like Amanda, Kyle's wife now, was like just such...
She was Kyle's booty call.
Yeah, she was his literal 3 a.m. booty call.
Literally.
And,
I'm like asking, is it okay if I stay over? Are you sure?
And
Like
now she's running shit.
Yeah.
Like it's so crazy.
And
that-
no shame to do a booty call, own it, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, for sure,
Oh,
totally.
yeah,
You
yeah.
want, just stating the facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, her transformation on that show over the years, I could see if this, I don't think it will, but if this show continued on, Kaylor could have that same transformation.
Okay, I have a question for you, Christina. Do you think that Kenny never liked Janae, or do you think that it just sort of happened in the months following you get out of there and you're just realizing this isn't my person?
I believe that at some point he had genuine feelings for Janae as a person, as a woman, and
As a big booty hoe.
physical, emotional, all of the things. I don't know what it's like to be like a racist and like date someone that you're racist against. So I don't really, I'm giving my best guess.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a racist person.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. From what I know, which I haven't seen screenshots of that are verified, fact check, shared, whatever, which I totally understand because Janae is not going to trying to relive the trauma of this type of betrayal. I can't even imagine like, hey, you actually don't appreciate me as a human existing on this earth. Like I wouldn't want to keep relitigating that either. So I only know what she's alluded to and what her friends have alluded to, which is that he was speaking about her in a racist, derogatory way, something to the effect of like, oh, like these black women, I can't, something like that, probably worse. I don't know. That's just an example I'm thinking of. And I believe that I'm sure he did have feelings for her. I can't imagine like wanting to do this long con as somebody who's like out here being like, I miss my 9-to-5 job and I don't want to be famous. Like, so you're going to do this like with someone you don't respect? Like all that's very odd. And so I don't know what his motivation was for any of this. Right. So I have to believe like he liked her in some way, like and enough for Janae. I don't think Janae's an idiot. Like Janae, there's enough for Janae to be getting signals that he wants to be with her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Janae's not stupid. Like she's a very smart, intelligent, capable woman. And so whatever was going on was enough for her to believe whatever she was believing about him.
Yeah. I really do wish that she would come out and give even just like a 30-minute, with commercials, just like how, like, did you see the signs, whether at the time or at least in retrospect? How did you come across this? Were you thinking did you go into his phone and look? Or did someone send you something? Did someone give you a heads up for you to look? Like, because, when you see the photos of like them that night and like they were at this party, like there's so much video of them that day ahead of when it all happened, of them like going, like getting ready, arriving at this fucking big party, like all the party, them dancing, like people have cut together, like anyone who had footage of the party seems to have all sent it to one person and they cut it all together. Like
it was David Dobrik's birthday.
Yeah. It was like Timmy, over like several hours.
He used to live next door to Timmy.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, Timmy said he was the worst.
So it's like, how did it come about? Because you seemed very much enjoying yourself at this party. And then we wake up to literally, 17 different things. Like the things that were coming out were like, that's a lot of information to wake up to the next morning and distribute.
Well, yeah. And a lot of the information was false. And it turned out to be worse than the fake information. Like there was a 2-day period or something where it was like, oh, Kenny was cheating on her and had a mistress, and the mistress confronted them.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah,
blah blah blah. It was just psycho and all this kinds of stuff. That's where what I was referencing earlier, where I was like, I'm just gonna do a fact, like just watch me fact check right now to see like the types of things that stand out to me or whatever. And it was like, I won't get into it, but the person who started that rumors Twitter account is not for information gathering.
Okay.
It's all, I can't say, let me say this. All of her previous tweets, all of them leading up to this one, oh my God, my friend just told me at this party.
Yeah. Oh, I remember this.
Girl,
Okay.
what are you doing here, girl? And then
wasn't it like an OnlyFans girl or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
One of her friends posted something like, hey, Black girls, if you're dating a white guy, make sure you search his phone for these phrases.
Yeah.
And it was like really derogatory stuff.
Yeah. And so ever since that is the thing. And then obviously what Leah would say too, and the back and forth she would have here and there. That's really, I haven't seen anything since then to that kind of substance. So
all I'm assuming is Kenny's a racist liar. That's all I don't know what else to describe him as.
Clout demon. Isn't that what Leah called him?
Yes. Cloud demon. Oh, that was amazing.
I wonder what the backlash has been for him as far as his business goes. I wonder if
what's his business?
As far as like, I'm going to do an Instagram post about this today. I'm going to I imagine a lot of people have pulled out of that. I don't follow any of these people, so I don't know like if they're still posting stuff.
He hasn't posted anything on his Instagram since like Miguel and him went on that hike.
Oh, okay.
That's the
and then there are people being like, hey, Kenny's going to do a tell-all interview. I'm like,
yeah,
bro, this is not Kenny's Instagram. Are you stupid?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? But somebody got into the website that Kenny's official Instagram's like link in bio thing linked to.
Yeah.
That had like a separate account. That why are you spending your time on this? It's very weird to me. I don't know why people do this.
Well, I think that everybody did want to hear if Kenny.
I don't think we're ever going to hear it from Kenny yet. Like,
yeah, I would love to hear something from Kenny just because I want to hear anything because I feel like this is over. And I just kind of kept thinking that she was waiting to get like kind of choosing her outlet that she wanted to take her story to. And then, but after that, she pretty quickly tried to wrap it up and was like, I'm done. We're moving on. Please don't ask me about it. I love you guys so much. But yeah.
He's like, I love you. Thank you for the support. But like, please leave.
Do you have anything else?
The Kendall and Nicole meeting.
Oh my God. We're so stupid. That's like the biggest.
That's the number one thing.
I know.
I feel like we talked about it a good amount though.
Also, but when she met up with the girls, that was a side of Nicole that I was like,
hello.
I'd never seen this girl before.
Yeah.
And maybe that is the real you, and maybe you hid yourself on the villa, but I'd never seen that person.
I got my gloss on.
So from the time that she was with the girls and then like showed up looking banging, I love the camera up the skirt shot.
That's what I said last week when the problem, like, of all the irony shots of like Kendall's rumor and like now you're going to show your beehole to everyone.
Nicole is so hot.
Yeah.
To show her walking. Why? There is a cameraman on his knees going like this. Why are you doing that?
He had to get his fix because he's only been shooting the villa before this and he hasn't been able to see any G-strings and
also
booby tassels.
In slow-mo, you got to change the settings to get that.
Multiple shots.
I know.
Listen, I don't have sympathy for Nicole ever in life ever, but maybe for that.
I don't think she minded. I don't know. Who knows? But so she shows up with the girls, and the way that she's talking, it just sounds like, she's doesn't like Kendall just seems to sort of just be like oh God, no, kind of like that's her attitude about it. And talking about how she's dating and having so much fun and climbing up on 6'10" dudes.
I'm climbing him like a tree.
Yeah. And so the way she was talking about, and then also her conversation is like,
no shame.
No. But also when she's asking them like, why did Kaylor and Liv unfollow me? And she does seem like she doesn't seem mad, but she does seem a little hurt.
She seems upset.
And yeah, she seems upset about it and like wanting to like keep friendships that she made and but is being very like liberal about like, friendships ebb and flow. Like some people could be like, oh, you fucking unfollowed me. Oh, it's so petty, you stupid bitch. But she was just like being very generous with like the leeway with it and just saying that she would just like to have, like, she misses the friends that she made. So that whole dinner went, I thought, like really well for her. And then the next day to see her with him.
And he's like, I never said that. I didn't tell him to do that.
Right. Which he clearly lied, right? Like,
and then they cut to Liv being like, yeah, he told me to.
Yeah. Like, I feel like I believe Liv over Kendall. Like, Kendall just is all over the place.
Kendall seemed a little too dramatic about it too. Like, I would ever do that in my life. Where Liv has no reason to lie about that.
No, totally. And like Kendall lies when he's put on the spot. So like, I'm sure he'll apologize later and, you know, whatever. But so the whole time, obviously it's going to be weird because they haven't seen each other since the reunion, and they did fall out the way that they did. And he did break up with her. So I understand all the weirdness around like why they're going to be like just so awkward looking. But it did seem that by a certain point, it felt like she likes him still.
By a certain point, you mean the point that the camera panned up to see her walking in, and the second she saw him, and he was like, "Oh my god!" and she just could not control the shit-eating grin. She covered her
nervous.
face. Like, no, I think she was nervous. I think she was uncomfortable but like, that's the first thing I thought was like, oh my god, she still is so into this dude. It was all over her face.
I thought what you were going to say, Mike, was like, oh, you mean when they edited together shots of them smiling, because that's what people do when they're on camp. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Because I didn't notice it when he walked in.
But right when she walked in, she giggled. She just instantly.
I just thought it was like nerves and awkwardness.
At the end of the conversation that was aired, you know, it was like,
yeah, it was a lot of that.
A lot of that.
But if you go back and watch, that first shot is from him at the table, and there's no edits.
I do believe that there is like still unresolved like sexual tension and emotional things that have not, you know, whatever, because.
But from him, I think he's over it.
Just within the two of them, not necessarily from him. Because she said, once the reunion aired, I never heard from him again. After the reunion aired, he broke up with you. Why would you have heard from him again? If it's just a normal breakup, you don't talk to people. So again, back to these like language cues and details. He broke up with you. You each posted about it on Instagram, but you posted first so that you could be the first one. And he said, Kendall dumped me. And then Kendall posted like, I've decided to end our relationship. Yeah, of course he didn't speak to you. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but
why is this being framed as like, oh my god, I never heard from him? Why would you? He's your ex-boyfriend at this point. Like,
and he dumped you because you blew him up on the fucking reunion. Like, that's why he finally was like, oh shit, I don't think I can do this. Yeah.
You don't trust me. You don't believe me. You won't hear what I have to say. You've aired out my laundry. I said I didn't want to talk about it publicly. So it's just like, yeah. Once the reunion aired, I didn't hear from. Yeah, you wouldn't hear from me either, girl.
Yeah.
Sit down. Shut up.
Yeah.
This isn't about you. Like, I'm just so sorry. I can't stress enough. I don't like Kendall. Okay,
Kendall.
I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
But I will never not be on his side in this whole thing. I'll just never be on her side about it, man. Because I can't imagine I'm not a fan of the, what if it was a man, reverse the gender arguments. I'm not a fan of that. But
well, no, but if you are but there's something to that though, because there is.
If it was switched and some dude went on a podcast talking about, oh, well, she sent this and she did that. He would not live to see another day.
No, I'm with you on all that. I'm with you on all of that. It's just that the lie, if she were to have found out right before when did Janae tell her, show her the actual video?
It was set within 72 hours of them leaving the villa.
Okay, so I took it in as Janae told her this like right before the reunion, and so she was like then feeling like, have I just been living a lie with this person like, is he 180 degrees? Like, he was never into me. He's actually into dudes, and he came on the show for fame. And so that's what I was thinking, that like she kind of, that could have spurred her to to like lose control of just her emotions on a reunion show. That's the only door that I leave open for that. If that's a thing.
They get their phones back, and it's been like maybe a day and a half or something. They're in the hotel.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking a day and a half. I'm talking about literally 36 hours. Kendall tells Nicole, somebody leaked my nudes.
Yeah.
And Nicole's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, whatever. He doesn't say anything about it being a video. He says, like, it was just somebody that I used to date, and like I thought I trusted them, whatever. He doesn't say anything else about it except that. Then everybody, according to Nicole, kept asking her, are you okay? Are you okay? She's like, what do you mean? Well, I'm just concerned about Kendall. What do you mean, am I okay? And then Janae, I guess within the next following 36-hour period, said something like, did you see the video? She's like, no, I saw a picture. And so Janae shows Nicole the video.
Which, we don't have to go into it.
Yeah. But the important thing that, or it doesn't matter what Kendall was doing in the video, what Nicole noticed in the video was the background, and that it was the hotel room that they all stayed in before they went to the villa. So she was like, oh, excuse you. Like, what do you mean? Like, this was someone from your past. You took these, whatever, right before you went, or at some point, like near your time in the villa. When was this? And then he was like, okay, it was someone on a dating app. It was right before I went to the villa. Right. Sorry, I lied to you. I freaked out. Then they she wouldn't talk to him for a while, because she was very like, you lied to me. Like, I thought this was someone that you knew, that you trusted from your past. Well, it was right before you went to the villa. Like, how can I trust you? You weren't clearly looking for anything. And I'm like, I don't care who I had sex with the night before. If I meet the love of my life, fine. Like, I don't know how. I'm very
shaming. You don't owe anyone anything.
Like, he didn't know you existed, dude. Whatever. Like, this rock song. Gives a fuck.
No, I'm with you 1,000%. Yeah.
Which, by the way, the body count challenge on Love Island, they've got to stop doing it.
It's so ridiculous.
No, you had a good idea on what to change it to. When was the last time you had sex before you came to the villa?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No shame, but that's a way more dramatic question to answer.
Yeah.
That could be
true.
It could prevent a lot of these, and it would be fun. Like, what? You banged somebody on the night before?
Yeah.
Yeah, the chick at the hotel. Like, fuck, what are you talking about?
Get it worked out. Work it out now.
That would be great for us as viewers. That would be great for us. But it would, I was thinking that, like, if the show ever thought about this, they probably don't want to, they probably like to produce their problems. Like, if we're going to put an obstacle in your way, it's going to be our obstacle. Yeah. We're not going to.
It's about control.
Yeah. Control your controllables. Yeah. Yeah.
All I was going to say to wrap up the timeline was that they're not speaking for a little bit. She's like, she leaves the hotel room they were staying in together and is like, I want my own room. I don't want to talk to him. And she was supposed to go stay with him where he was at the time, which was in Texas. And she's like, I'm not going there. And they didn't really talk. And then they reunite for the reunion.
Yeah.
And he's like, something happened. And she says, the video. That's not your video to shout about. And again, disclaimer, I don't even really like Kendall.
I know.
I don't like Kendall. I don't even like him. He's annoying. He's annoying, and he wears really bad outfits to dates.
No, he's annoying, and he's clearly trying to find. He's chasing after something. I don't even know if he remembers it. Every hour that he's chasing him, I'm not even sure he remembers. Like, wait, where am I going right now? Like,
I'm not here to. I'm not a Kendall. Whatever. This is objectively the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
Period. Defender. I get.
So obviously, like we were just talking about, she clearly still likes him, but I can't tell if she's liking him because she's stuck in Sacramento. I'm from Sacramento. I'm from Oklahoma, but I lived in Sacramento.
Wait, do
most
people
of my life.
really say like the sack? How he said that? Are you still in the sack?
I never heard
Yeah.
anybody say this.
I've never heard the sack, but yeah, everyone calls it sack. No one ever says like the whole fucking name. Yeah, which is like, so anyway, sometimes I wonder if she's seeing all of her old friends on a show getting paid for to live in Hollywood for the summer, and if she's like, okay, I didn't get asked because I obviously don't have a connection anymore. But what if I just refried my old one? Like, does it seem like they could? It seems like both of them could get some positives out of just going for it.
A couple episode arc of love.
Yeah.
I feel like if they would have by now. She's not in any of the promo interviews. She's not. We don't hear from this girl. I'm not looking for her, so maybe I haven't either. I was just thinking that that she might be more open to entertaining another round with him after she's now lived back. And I'm like I said, I lived there. It's like by all means necessary. I'm getting back to LA.
A tough spot.
No.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. She could be gone. She could be there next episode to say goodbye, and then we could never see her again.
I think her attraction to him is like a type of control. Not control, but like a that he's in an inferior position in her mind, not in mine, but in her mind, he's like a lap dog who has making up to do, and so she's like, because she knows she's hot, and that they've been together physically, and that he feels bad or what. Like, it's just the whole thing is so warped to me of who is responsible for what, emotional havoc they've wreaked on the other person, that I don't totally know what's going on when I look at the two of them smiling at each other, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, are you mad about the vibe? If I were Kendall, I would be like, how dare you go on a podcast and discuss this? But again, they're not going to let him say that to us. She went on a podcast and talked about me, because then they'll have to name the podcast, they'll have to show clips of the podcast for us. So we're just left to believe him. We can't do that. It's this whole thing that this like blindfold that we're forced to wear mentally while watching this show.
There is so much to be gained from him actually just nipping this shit in the bud already, because the way that he is talking around it and avoiding, and his weird mannerisms about it, like, it is only perpetuating this thing.
I disagree, because he's, oh my God. It's like, listen, I could send you something that I've recorded within the last 90 days to someone that could be equally as incriminating, but I'm a woman, and I just feel like, yes, I'm saying I've sent a sext in the last 90 days for anybody who's behind. Anyway, I can send it to you if you want, but I don't think you do. Anyway, but it just, to me, is that's so violating. Why would you want to bring it up?
Type, because he doesn't seem the type to, like, I don't find him to be a very character driven person. I don't find him to have a real backbone to make moves that are smart and wise and like and to stand for something, And so that's the thing about this. Like, I'm with you on all of that, but like, the way that he is already and the dumbass decisions he's made already, and now he's like not a good actor in this situation. He can't control his movements. He can't control his weird eye contact. Like, so that's why I think for him specifically, not the general pop, but for Kendall specifically, if you address it, I would. Yeah. Not only would I believe him, I would want to believe him. So I would just be like, because we're not going to see it. It's scrubbed from the internet. It's over and done and buried. And now you've said what you've said. And so I'm taking that because that's fucking more convenient for me. I would like some convenience in this. I'm not searching it out anymore after that. So that's.
Okay. I just want to clarify. Are you saying that if Kendall said, yeah, I spread my cheeks for a dude, that you would be like, that's what I wanted to hear.
No, either or. Like, really, I mean, he could honestly just lie and say, I know that there's these rumors going out there. Like, if you're a Reddit reader, you might have come across something. It's total BS.
Okay, here's my thing. A really court issue is that everything that everyone has not everything, because there's not the things that people have come to these speculative conclusions about, right? We're all based on this video, not any of his previous dating history. Like Nick Viall, when Nicole was on Nick Viall's podcast, he was like, do you know Kendall's dating history? Like, it was so bizarrely targeted and invasive, and she was not giving into any of it, not because she's smarter than that, but because she's not, and she doesn't have that information. She knows what she knows.
So she didn't. So whenever he was trying to lead her to something like that, she never gave any hints that, like,
no. He would be like, do you believe the Raya girl story? And she would go, not really. And he would try to go back and say, well, like, if you don't believe this, and you, like, have you thought about asking him and why don't you talk about, because at this point it was very bizarre. I encourage you to watch it after.
No, I will now. I don't know why I didn't already. I feel like an idiot that I didn't.
So weird because they're still together the whole time. She's performing. Doing.
That's right.
Conducting this interview, and the whole time Nick is like, yeah, I think you should break up, basically. Like, it is so odd. And she's like getting upset. I feel like you guys are my therapist. Like, I'm looking at this in a whole new way. Maybe I should. Like, it was bizarre world where he was like, and at some point he says to her, as a straight guy, you seem very calm. And I can tell you that straight guys are into that. So, like, you'll have a lot of interest from straight guys if you, like, decide to be single. I swear to God.
What does that even mean?
That's just Nick being fucking an old guy like us.
He's like, a bunch of guys will want to date you. Like, as a straight man, you seem very calm.
So do you think that there's a possibility, though, that Nick just knows something else and that she doesn't know? Because, like, why would he go so hard on that?
Nick thinks he knows something.
Okay.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He's trying to goat her into saying it, that's not actually a fact. And he's like, because he does that with everybody. He does. He's like, yes, you don't think that. And sometimes he's right.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes he is. Not all the time. And he's like, oh, so you don't think that, and he tries to coax people into saying something that confirms what he's asking them. And they don't always. Sometimes they do. And then he can be Mr. like, I'm right. I'm basically a, like, psychologist, relationship therapist, professional. Like, that's what Nick does. Nick, if you see this, sorry. Not really. Anyway. Thanks for having me on, though.
Nick, if you see this, can you take on this pod?
Okay. Nick, actually, I would love to discuss a one-on-one with you. What the F y'all in this interview? I would love to come back. Let's discuss this, because what on earth was going on? And you know what's so funny is that I feel the polar opposite about his interview with Kaylor, because he had Kaylor on after the season, and it was one of the kindest, most empathetic interviews I've ever watched. I was like, it was so good.
Yeah.
It was like he was her big brother, but he never tried to establish himself as that. But that was kind of like some of the advice that he was giving. And it just felt so gentle and kind and genuinely, like, for her best interest kind of thing, and honest. And I made a separate post about that, being like, God damn, like, everybody who interviews anyone ever needs to, like, watch this to, like, understand how to be emotionally, willing to sort of, like, go there with people and not be fucking weird about it like you were with Nicole. Like,
yeah. I do normally really like his interviews. Like I do normally really like them. I know that he can go off into old guy territory sometimes, but like we're the same age, so like it translates to me. Like I wouldn't say some of the things that he says, but like they don't throw me off my game nearly as much as they do like the 20-year-olds that go on there and they're like, you're a woman hating man. Like just, you know, people get real offended by him, and I just see him as like someone I grew up with, you know, like.
Well, and he's the only person really out there in this podcast environment climate that has absolutely destroyed whatever the sanctity of news interviews were with celebrities, by the way. So it's like all they're going to do is podcast. They're going to choose which ones and they're going to choose which people. And he's the only one who at least attempts to put it back on them and try to say, but don't you think that you, do you see how this, I mean, bro, that day he had Tom Sandoval.
I love that. Was a fucking great. Well, which one?
The first one.
Wait, where Tom and Tom came on?
It was Tom.
Sandoval was late.
Sandoval was late, and he had a whole litigation against Nick at the end. No, bro, you were late.
I know, it was interesting.
In Nick's defense, I made a whole compilation video that was like, here is Nick, not even including what Tom's answers were, of just Nick being like, okay, but what are you doing exactly to be a better whatever? Like, kind of like those Jax videos, I guess, but if it was all Andy being like, okay, but explain to me how, and don't you think that
yeah,
like,
that was an interesting time to be alive.
Yeah. Anyway, all of a sudden it was you if you are bored, but let me get back to my focus. They were weird podcast interviews.
Okay.
And I just, there's no way anyone could ever explain it to me to make me feel like Nicole was in the right. Like there's no other way to put it. Like there's just no, I don't care who Kendall was sending it to.
Yeah.
If it was a man, if it was a woman, I don't care. There's just no way that whatever her behavior was could be like defended.
I'm totally with you. And I just want to clarify it, since we've just talked around it in so many different ways. I just want to say that, like, I don't care what was on there. I want Kendall to address it because I don't think that Kendall has met anything head on since he appeared on my screen. So I think I'm craving a little bit of Kendall taking control of the narrative, and I will follow the lead of his narrative. Whatever he wants to give me, I'll be like, cool, I believe it, and I'd say no more.
What would satisfy you though, besides him saying that I was naked in a video that I sent to someone?
No. Oh, that's why I'm glad I'm clarifying this. I don't even think I've made my point to you. I don't care what was on it. I just want him to say there's a lot of shit going on out there. Like I'm reading things that you like that make me blush, and like none of it. Like it is all BS. But I just want him to acknowledge in a way with his chest out of like. Yeah. This happened. We're moving on, you know, and like it was an unfortunate series of events.
A lot of the skirting around stuff just makes me want to effing look at it.
Right.
You know?
All the skirting around is, I think, what is causing him the biggest problems. And that's another thing I want to clarify is that a lot of times that I'm saying that these are things that I want, they're out of like for like media purposes, like media going well for him. It's not about what you need to give me. It's about like what everyone out like. Your trajectory will be in a straighter lane if people aren't wondering what's going on over here.
Answer the questions and like nobody will ask them anymore.
Exactly. Just because you're out here, you're clearly trying to make something of your life and do something in this space. And I think you're going to get there a lot faster if you would stop pussyfooting around everything and start taking control of your life. That's what I think.
Yeah, I get all that. I agree. I get it.
See, I beat people into submission until they say I agree.
No, I do.
I love you for that.
What about you, Mark? After Dark? Mike? Daylight?
I don't know what we're even talking about anymore.
Thank you so much, Christina Coca, for coming. We'll put all of her info up. I'm sure everyone already knows it because we put her up all the time. She's our only friend.
Yeah, really.
So if you're not already following her, you can find Christina Coca on YouTube at Coca Coca, on TikTok as Coca Coca, and on Instagram, wait for it, Coca Ma Coca, because some asshole already took it by the time she got there. COCCAMACOCCA. It'll all be on your screen, and you probably already know, and I'm just giving you old news like your parents or something. But there it is.
Thank you.
Christina, thank you so much for coming. If we didn't have you, me and the city, it would just be staring at each other. I'm sure we would have gotten a fight at some point.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'd be fighting. I'd be popping these bottles open right now.
Yeah.
You saved us 2 bottles of wine.
Like at the beginning, I did invite Mark after dark, but you know what? Those valuable bottles of wine.
Okay, so that's it for us. And honestly, I don't know what the hell we're doing next week because we haven't picked another show to cover. So your guys is as good as ours.
You should rewatch The Newsroom.
Yeah, you know what? You guys should.
Idea.
And Aaron Sorkin is all-time great.
Chatty,
yeah. I love you so much, Christina. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for inviting me and dealing with all the technical bullshit. And if anything goes wrong and you need me to do the whole thing over again, just let me know.
Yeah, wait for that call because we're going to see how this all shakes out.
Yeah, you might get it.
Yeah.
I love y'all so much and value your content and the effort and time that you put into it and the quality that you put into it. I've said it before when we've talked, like nothing looks and sounds as good as y'all, to the point where it's annoying. Like, why the fuck are you not as clear? And why is your audio not as clear? And why is your video not as, excuse me, why are we all listening to these people? So genuinely, like, I'll do whatever you need. And thank you for inviting me in Courtney's place. And please tell her that I do not think that I'm a valid replacement for her.
It's funny the times when Courtney's always here, but like the times we have to do anything without Courtney are the moments where I'm like, fuck, Courtney's really good at this. And I don't know if I want to get that good at this.
I'm sure all of tonight was one of those moments. So let her know that
she would have had a whip on all of us.
Bro,
she would have been like cracking the whip the whole time. Yeah, we would be all in bed asleep.
We're going to be on this call for another 20 minutes just saying goodbye.
I'm not trying to help you get in your lane out here and on your way. I would like to investigate the crash. And that's what I feel like I did. But I at the time of my life.
All right, that's it. Love you guys.
Toodles.
Ciao, ciao.
Toodles. Ow.
Okay. Oh man,
Wait,
it's hot in
you know,
here.
it took me a long time to learn that it was this way.
As opposed to what way?
This way.
I think there's 2 different ways.
No, they are two, but people do this thing. I was like, no, I got it. And they're like, no. Anyway.
Can I tell you, I still haven't figured out which way to do my heart. Like, I don't know what kind of.
Okay, I'm doing it this way because this is like.
It's sign language.
It's like, bro, this is like.
It's the Star Trek deal.
Dude, it's crippled. Wait, what does she do? I don't know. It's crippling anxiety, and I don't like it. So I just do this one. What is this? What is? Oh! It's like that.
Dude, that's gnarly. You look like you could get shot in some neighborhoods.
No, that's what the kids do. They don't do what we do. They do this other way. Yeah.
Oh my God, that hurts. No.
It does look pretty good though.
What? No. Just why aren't we doing this?
Because look at all your fingers in front of it. Listen, I still do it the way you do it. I just understand why the kids are doing it this way because it really cuts out a lot of the BS.
There's another one. That's the K-pop one, apparently.
Oh,
they just go like this. Because it like makes like a shape.
Well, that's just lazy.
Yeah, that's lazy.
I like this one.
If it's good enough for Taylor, it's good enough for me.
Okay.
Are you going to listen to Taylor's new album?
Yes.
Okay, great.